here at Fiddler's Pond in Goshen for something that happens every year. Well, over the last 8 years, it's a Basher Children's Home boat build and then launch. And the kids from Basher will be here a little later on this morning to launch the boat that you see behind me into this pond after over a year of hard work. I'm here with the 3 volunteers who make it happen. I'm here with Christian, Jay, and Guy. Jay, you originally started this 8 years ago. So how did you get into boat building? Is it something you do for a career, or is it just a hobby of yours? Or
Yep, I used to build. I've probably done it about 20 years, and I used to spend summers in Maine, and I think that kind of hooked me, being on the ocean.
Yeah.
And I've just enjoyed this and some of the skill it takes to do it. I had driven. I live close to Basher, so I had driven by, and it'd be like Sunday mornings on the way to church. I would just have this feeling, you're supposed to be doing something there. And one Sunday I had I was part of trying to help them locate a runner someone had taken off. And so in talking to them, I realized it's time to step up and see what we can offer. So yeah.
And so one of the best ways to volunteer is to mix your passion for what you already love doing with helping young children. What kind of difference have you seen in them over the last 8 years when they actually do get to volunteer?
Some of them have never used tools before. Some of them never had the opportunity to build something like this. Some of them haven't been on the water before. And to us it kind of blows us away, but the environment or whatever their background is, we just try to give them that opportunity to, hey, this is what we do. This is tools we use. We try to let them use everything. Hey, look what you can walk away with, some accomplishment. So, yeah.
Now, Guy, you came in a couple of years after Jay started it. It really gives the kids a chance to see that if they stick with something and be part of a group project, they can really have amazing outcomes too, right?
Oh, absolutely. The kids come in and oftentimes they get to see the start of a boat when it's just a pile of lumber in the pole barn where we work.
Yeah.
And then at the end they get to see something like this, that we've taken something that's not much and turned it into something that's great. And we hope that's a lesson that they learn, that they may feel like they're not much, but in the end they can be something beautiful and cool.
Yeah. Well, Basher often talks about how Basher is almost like a cocoon for caterpillars turning into butterflies. You go in one way and then, you hope you come out another way. And of course, these kids have had a lot of challenges in their early life, and that's tough on them.
Oh, yeah.
And I know you're passionate about really meeting them where they're at in terms of their emotion and just not non-judgmental and just helping them through that.
Yeah, we just want to hang out with kids because, quite frankly, Jay and I are getting old, and it makes us feel younger and like we're somewhat relevant.
And they're like, "Oh, look at you guys wearing your New Balances." No, I'm just kidding.
I look at it, we joke, he has 4 daughters. I have a son and 2 daughters. We messed them up pretty good. We want a second try.
It is. And talking about son and daughters, Christian, you're a son-in-law of Jay's. Were you kind of roped into this, or are you willingly doing this?
Willingly. It was about 7 years ago when basically I came to the family, and I saw what Jay and Guy were doing, and I was pretty interested, and I joined them.
And do you have kids yourself now as well?
Yes, I do have 2 kids.
Are you hoping not to mess them up the way Jay and Guy did?
I'm trying.
Are you learning from them, or
by our
what not to
mistakes?
do?
Yeah. And so, how do you feel helping these kids? Like, what does it bring to your life to be around them and see the difference?
Well, it is teaching me a lot of things, and basically, the way I feel. I feel blessed to be able to help someone that sometimes doesn't have the same opportunities that we have. And so, it's just honored to be able to help.
Yeah. Our starting points are also different, and one of the stats about Basher that always hits with me is that these kids have often been to 6 or 7 placements before they get to Basher. So you think about this young person who's been abused or neglected or been through something just terrible in their 14 or 15 years of life, and they've bounced around to 6 or 7 places that can't deal with what they're doing. Basher's like a last resort for them. And And after Basher, it doesn't get any, there's no more level of excellence or care. And we talked about this right before we came on camera, and Jay, you said something and it hit me, and it's kind of true. It's like there is one place they can go after Basher, and it's not a good place. They can end up in jail. They could end up in, repeating the cycle of what they've gone through, and so these kids, Basher gives them the opportunities, not just the therapy and all the care that they need when they're in Basher as residents, but also then being able to be exposed to things like this out in the community, which also helps with their social skills. I'm sure you see that too, Jay. Do you, with their social skills and being able to be in a group and things like that?
Sure, yeah. Sometimes we maybe have to tone it down a little bit. They get a little excitable, but yeah, I think actually a lot of times they mesh well.
They oftentimes walk in and are very reticent to talk to us.
Yeah.
And even that, and you spend 15 Saturday mornings with them hanging out, all of a sudden you're not asking them a whole lot about their past, but they're volunteering and they're opening up, and we get to know them pretty well over a period of time.
Yeah.
And that's just awesome for us that that God has allowed us to meet these kids where they're at.
Yeah, because they are his children too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And up until that point, maybe every adult they've met, maybe intentionally or just otherwise, have basically let them down in a way, and so you guys are consistent to them.
Yeah.
So, and I love that. So I love that you're doing. Jay, can you tell me a little bit about this boat behind me? Because, when people think of a Basher boat build, I think they think more of some of the items that we have here, which by the way are so beautiful, but they seem small in comparison to what you've done here. I mean, what is this boat behind me here?
Right, so this is, it's called a St. Iles skiff. It's a Scottish coastal rowing boat.
Okay.
Obviously originated in Scotland, and they use it. They'll do races around the island. There's probably, I think we're about the 45th one in the States, mostly by maybe some high schools and some coastal groups, community groups that like rowing. Why we do one in Indiana in the middle of a cornfield, we haven't figured that out. That's where we're at. So I had thought this would be a cool project a couple years ago, and Sean McCrindle, the president of Basher, came to me a couple years ago and said, that project you were talking about, it's covered. We have a donor heard about what you guys are doing, and they'd like to take care of that. We also have a boat company in the county here that heard about what we were doing, and we needed a trailer, so they provided that for us.
They donated that? Wow.
Yep.
Well, if it can handle the wakes and the currents around Scottish islands, I'm sure it can handle a Fiddler's Pond here today.
Yeah.
with
the
no
problem
wind.
is we have not gotten wet yet. So
today could be the first day, right? And so as we mentioned, we're here right now with Christian, Jay, and Guy. And of course the real magic happens, but unfortunately, because the kids are in the care of Basher Children's Home, we can't show them. But the real magic is going to be when the kids get here. The atmosphere is going to really it's really going to go through the roof, right?
Oh yeah. We will make sure they have fun.
Yeah, oh they will. Well, thank you guys so much. If you want to learn more about the Basher boat build or get involved in any way, go to basher.org. But thank you for doing this. I'm sure you get as much out of it as the kids do, but it's really important that we show them as adults and as believers in Christ, as you've all spoken, that we really do care about the next generation. That's all that matters, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Our lives are already set, right? We got to make sure the next generation is set. So thank you so much.
Thank you.